Good morning, everyone. I'm Marion, the Inappropriate Artist, and I just reheated my leftover dinner from last night in my double boiler. I gotta tell you, best kept secret in van life, in any life for that matter. I was just thinking to myself, now I have hot water to do my dishes. So, yeah, a little bit of a bonus in this world of simplicity that I've put myself in, and that, a lot of us have been forced into, right? Well, one of the things I'm trying to do is to embrace this new lifestyle. I feel like there couldn't have been a better way, oddly, for me to enter into van life than being isolated with everyone else. Because, right, we're not alone. We're not alone. I mean, I know there's people out there who get to quarantine with their families and have financial cushions. And, this is like a vacation for some of them. And maybe they don't really, or maybe by now they're seeing it that way. I really hope so. But, I think all of us have had to look at ourselves pretty deeply during this time and learning what we can do without. When I entered this life, I knew that I was putting myself way out of my comfort zone, to have to ask for help from people, to living without so many of the luxuries that we all have had in our lives, right? But, I always had a longing to live more simply, probably inspired by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I'm no doubt inspired by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I always looked at that life as something for me. I felt really drawn to it. And although I definitely have more conveniences, I don't have to go searching for fuel other than going to the store. But I do have to boil my water to do whatever it is I need to do for hot water, and find simple solutions to doing things like the dishes. Because, there's enough water in there that I can put a little in this pan, and I can put a little in my coffee cup, and a little in my coffee pot, and, I can make it go far. And I think that's something that, it balances out. So I remember a friend kind of frowning upon the fact that I was wanting to live in a fan because of fuel consumption. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. But here's the thing. I would have had to commute to work. I would have had to, if I was going to improve my life in Connecticut, I would have had to travel far for work. So, in order to make the money that I needed to make in order to live in Connecticut. And now, yeah, I use more propane than I ever did, first of all, because I never used propane for very much, except for a few years when I lived on Lake Wassapog. But, yeah, I use more propane, but I'm not using really any more gas than I ever did when I commuted back and forth from Watertown to Old Greenwich. I'm actually using less, especially since I've been able to sit still for a while. And my plan was never to move every 24 hours. It was to move and stay for 2-3 days, and then move and stay for 2-3 days, and keep it going like that. And then times where, like this, even though this was somewhat forced, I've been here now for over a week, just. And yeah, there's been a lot of downtime. And there have been times like yesterday where I think I ran the buddy heater a little too long. And I got sleepy. I had shut it off, I had opened the windows, but I could not stop yawning. And I did lay down and I took a 2-hour nap, which is not normal for me these days, since I have literally been going to bed with the sun, getting up with and going to bed with the sun. And I often get up before the sun. But yeah, and even with that, because my life has been so peaceful, nap time hasn't really been all that necessary for me. I always cherished my naps when I worked full-time and even part-time. My brain really needed the rest. You know, working in retail and customer service, you are on all the time. And so, and if you want, for me, if I wanted to do a good job, I wanted to do my best every day. And I still do want to do my best every day. I do have to confess, I have to offer myself a little bit of forgiveness. I was shaming myself yesterday for not working harder on my art since I've been here and had the opportunity to. And it wasn't necessary. Here's the thing. The last few weeks of having to move constantly has been stressful to my body and to my brain, you know, in ways that I wasn't acknowledging to myself. And it was okay for me to take a break. You know, even though I'm sitting still in this place and I thought, here's where I can get productive. Well, I needed to settle. I needed to relax enough to allow myself to be creative again, in that fashion. I was using my creativity, definitely, but just in other ways. And yesterday, I was hard on myself. I got up from that nap and I was hard on myself. And so today I woke up and chose to give myself some forgiveness. And in that process, and sitting here and making my breakfast and making my coffee and doing everything, you know, actually coffee happens a lot faster for me this way than it used to when I used the Chemex, just because of pour over being what it is. This is just, I fill it up, I stick it on the stove, and it's done in minutes. You know, when I made my pots of coffee when I lived at home, in my mother's house, it would take 20 minutes to make a pot of coffee. And this is like maybe 5 in total from start to finish. So I've saved time in some areas, and in other areas I've had to take more time. But yeah, so this morning I got up, I made my breakfast, reheated my breakfast. Watch what you're doing, Marion. And I got sketching. So here's what so you saw my quick rough sketch of what I wanted to do. And you saw the beginning. And now it has grown. And I'm really pleased. I think I've come up with a composition that I can work with. I did have the benefit of using a ruler, and I'm not going to do it when I paint, because this was so that I could understand perspective and scale. I really needed to understand perspective and scale better than I have been. for me to accomplish architecture the way I would like to accomplish it. I've practiced it before in other paintings, and one in which I felt I really did a bad job in, with my trees in proportion to the barn that I sort of made happen. I no longer have the piece. I didn't save it because when I was moving, I just had to get rid of stuff that was, I just had to. But I think it kind of subconsciously paralyzed me from working on structures again. And so being here, it's all I look at. This is my view, right? Is these beautiful barns in front of me. And, what's really cool about it is I get to do the old with the new. I love the falling down. It tells a story. And the story is one that, I'm going to find out more about before I tell you about it. But, because I want to do a good job. For the sake of the farm, I would like to do a good job. So I'm working on that. I would eventually like to put together a video about this place. So in the meantime, we have old structures that are falling down with the new structures. And it's really kind of a cool combination of the old and the new. And I love the idea of putting these together and having it mean something more to me with everything that's going on. Wow, that's just sort of occurring to me right now. And it's actually choking me up a little bit. We're saying goodbye to an old life. I've come full circle, right? So in the beginning, I was talking about that, how being in van life and having it be a blessing that it has happened this way. Because we're all saying goodbye to an old life, aren't we? But there's room for the new. There's room for the new. Wow. That really affected me. And we get to do it together. I know I'm alone in this van, but we are. All of us. I know I've been seeing this Facebook post go around that, no, this is not the same. We're not all in the same boat. We're not. But we are in this situation together. We are. And we will all need to recover from this. Because we've had a loss. And there's going to be a grieving process that comes after it. And I've been doing that grieving process personally for my own dad. But we are all going to have to recover from this. And we can do it together. And we can be better. Both mentally, physically, and spiritually. Whatever that is for you. I'm still discovering what that is for me. Yeah. So, I'm going to close with that today. And say thank you for joining me. And I look forward to bringing you more of my project as I work on it, as I work on my perspective and showing you my progress as I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. And we're all going to learn as we go. No matter what we're all going to learn as we go. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. If you like this video, you can give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe on that little button below the video, and next to that is a little bell, which is the notification bell, and that'll tell you every time I put out a video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.